If you've been dying to make an initial for your kids' room, like right on the door there, so you can keep all your kids straight because they've each got their own initial, I can help you with that coming right up. Classy, eh? Wood and everything. Woo!
Knock, knock. Who's there? Toolgirl.
Today I just, for fun, want to show you how to use a jigsaw because it's way more fun than you might expect, and it's the least threatening of the power tool saws. Because listen, what does that remind you of? A sewing machine. Exactly. So how threatening is a sewing machine? Well, quite threatening if it's grade 9 and you don't know how to sew and you've only got 8 months to make a pincushion, which is what happened to me. Oh, the pressure. It was unbelievable. But I did eventually learn not to get it going so fast that it would just basically be at white light and I'd be off the end of the material. But I digress. So here's the thing. A jigsaw is fun to use. This particular model is kind of fun because look, they tell you if you're cutting metal, cut it at this speed. If you're cutting PVC pipe, that's the speed you need. So you don't have to worry about it. If you're cutting thick dimensional lumber, there's a speed all the way up to melamine. Why don't we just do something fun together? Like say you want to make a big wooden initial for your kid's door or your own door. It could be just for you. And you want to go on the internet and you type in letter M, letter J, whatever, and then you just print out the letter and then you put it in a photocopier. Because when you iron a photocopy face down on wood, guess what? It's heat transfer, right? That's how the photocopy toner got on the page in the first place. So it will actually transfer onto your wood. Now, it's not terribly vivid, so you're probably going to have to take a pencil or a marker and just fill it in a little bit, but it's enough to get you started if you're not a very good freehand drawer. So I'm going to transfer this image, J, onto this wood. This is just a pine board. It's actually project wood, so there's several boards laminated together. It's inexpensive. It makes great shelving, but it also does really well. So I'm going to iron this J on here, and then we're going to cut it out together, and you'll be really impressed. Here's my jigsaw. Not threatening, but wear these just in case you feel bothered by noise, because it'll just make you calmer. Plus they look hot. And then you want the eye protection because jigsaws send up a little rooster tail of sawdust. So, oh, and then the very key thing is we've got a drill here, and we're going to put a hole in the board so that we have a place to start our jigsaw blade. Okay, so there's my nice hole, and you'll notice I did it just outside the line there. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm really just letting the saw do the work, and I'm just very, very easily rotating the base a little bit so that I can get the curve going. If you try to push it and curve it at the same time, the blade ends up on a bit of an angle and you get a really ugly line. It's not vertical. So just go slow. That's really the main tip. When you get sort of partway around, you can also start to come from the other side. So I could either drill another hole here, or I could just come through the material to pick up the line like this. I am now applying yellow carpenter's glue. This is just one way to go. If you were rushing like I was and you broke a little chunk off, it can happen, but by the time it's painted, no one will ever notice it, except you, and you're not going to say anything about it, right? Okay, so with carpenter's glue, it's a cross-linking polymer, and that means you have to do both sides. Okay, then I'm going to put that in position like this, and then squeeze it together so that the excess glue comes out. Now you'll be tempted to take a wet rag and wipe away that glue, but it's not a good idea. Let the squeeze out sit there, and then when it's almost dry, just still a little bit stretchy, just take one of these and just shave it off. It's very satisfying. All right, so there you have it. It's beautiful. Come on. By the time that's sanded up and painted, it's going to look like a really professional J. So don't rush and don't try an S until you're really relaxed about it. Now, just a little word about blades. This is not a scrolling blade. This is a big blade for cutting straight cuts and very slight curves. This is a scrolling blade. That's what I've been using. Because it's not very deep, it's able to turn corners better because it doesn't get its heel caught in the curve of the wood that you've been cutting. So when you need to do tight corners, you always use a scrolling blade, the littlest blade you can find. And also jigsaws cut metal too, so there's all kinds of things you can do, although who wants a letter cut out of metal? That's just wrong. But the wood, come on, that's classy. Ish.
Toolgirl.